take the nuggets of the things in this world to apply, right, in real life and situations and things. So that's the calling. I wanted to do that. So especially you guys, this is your last year, right? In confirmation, you're moving, you're going beyond this. Becomes, and that's one sad thing about a lot of people drifting away, especially going to college. You don't have the faith practicing. It's because you don't have strong understanding of the words of God and sometimes the priest, sometimes the language, right? A little bit of that barrier. So that's why I'm here, trying to fill in for that, okay? I know Father Finn's going to be retiring in a few months, but I just want to capture that while he's here. So what was the gospel? I mean, wanted to make sure that you guys understand it needs to stay with you, right? From head to heart, okay? And then out to the world. So what was the gospel about? Say, something should click into you. What was the thing, the background? We talk about Jesus' ministry. Today he was where? He was up in a mountain talking about this very significant. Just think about almost like, I think Father said was like constitution of heaven, right? Jesus delivered that. It's called the Beatitude, right? Blessed are those, okay? And very hard to understand. Even though you can hear, it sounds good, but it's really hard, right? Internal. You have to internalize all that. Because the messaging is opposite from what you would think in this world, right? Blessed those who are poor in spirit. And who wants to be poor? Okay? Everybody wants to have, fame, family, and money, positions, status, getting some kind of jobs that's going to pay a lot and have that power, right? Power, influence of some kinds. Okay? TikToks, clicking away, feel good, very addicted, right? To that, especially that. If I'm taking the phones away, I get, people fight back, okay? Because that's the thing, it's gravitating. That's the thing of this world. And that's what Father was saying. It's the pleasure of life, right? The things of this world, the flesh, okay? So it's very powerful, where Jesus preaching almost the opposite. So most detaching, be poor, humble, be living that life, okay? Detaching, right? And focus on, obviously, two messages that he said, that blessed are those who are poor and meek. And again, there's two parts to it, right? And the part is very difficult for us to do, because the world is telling us the opposite, right? And that's the difference. He said is the pleasure, the definition of it, like of life. And then the second part is true happiness that Jesus is teaching, right? You are. So people are tending to gravitate toward the other ones, right? And it's hard to do. And then he's giving examples. And again, there's a lot of things that he said, but always St. Augustine, the one he says very clearly is he's living that life, right? That life of pleasure. And later on, he had a conversion, very profound, right? Turn around and basically be able to say that your heart is restless until it rests in God, right? You were made for more, right? Than what's the world thinks in this world. So it's just the part you need to kind of carry with you. And he gave an example of Marilyn Monroe, who is very successful, has the beauty, everything in this world, but she ended her life in suicide at the age of 35. And that's the thing is, if you keep going all the thing of this world, because your ability, the things you're grasping, you think you're satisfied, but it's not. It's really, you have to be looking at the interior, and that's what Jesus said, the clean of heart, those who have been living a life of purity, right? And now it's probably a lot of struggles, with pornography, things on the internet, and things you can see is pulling people away from that life of what Jesus is talking about. And then also St. Paul, right? There's two readings, typically that you learn, right? The first one having to do two Old Testaments. And the Testaments have to do with Prophet Isaiah talking about really the importance to connect to God all the time, because that's true happiness. That's going to help you, that eternal salvation, and also to know that it's you